Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Real PR with me, Fiona Scott. I hope you're having a great day, whatever it is that you're doing. I really hope today's guest will help with some insights, some tips, some hints for your business, organisation or your professional role, and just to entertain you. I'm joined today by my client and friend, Dave Southby. Dave, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So Dave, I know what you do, other people don't. Tell us what you do.
So I'm a financial advisor, which to a lot of people probably don't really understand what actually that means. But I kind of help people plan for their financial future. So I help people with their investments and their pensions and just really help them kind of make sense of their financial world and help them achieve their financial goals.
To me, I think of it with my creative mind, you're a bit of a dream maker, actually, Dave. It doesn't sound quite so dry, does it, as a financial advisor?
It doesn't. And I don't know why. Every time when someone asks me what I do, I say I'm a financial advisor. And then even inside, I kind of cringe a little bit. I don't know why. Because I'm really proud of what I do. And actually, you know, the value that I bring to people and the smile that, you know, when you have a conversation with someone, you can kind of say that, yeah, you can go on that holiday now and you encourage people to do and have the, you know, go and do what they want to do. It is an incredible feeling, but yeah, the title is a bit dry, isn't it?
But just to illustrate to anyone listening in or looking in today, is that you became our financial advisor when we were already working together, and you know we have a dream of a dream holiday.
I do.
We have now booked it. I'm not going to say when it is or where it is, but we've now booked it, and you know it's not an inexpensive holiday.
No, absolutely not.
But, you know, you helped us see the path to get there over time, didn't you?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think everyone's got dreams, everyone's got goals. But until you make it part of your plan, it's always going to be a dream. So, you know, it's always going to be in your head. But I try and encourage my clients to, you know, if you want to go on a dream holiday, travel around the world, whatever that looks like, put it down as part of your plan and make it part of the financial kind of plan that you've put together, because then you're more likely to achieve it.
You're still quite young though. What are you, 31? 31?
31, yeah, I was going to say, be careful.
Yeah, so young, come on. So how did you get into all this? Because often, and certainly with me, people don't think about their financial future when they're in their 20s or even early 30s. So where does all this come from?
I think becoming a financial advisor was a bit of a journey for me. I was working in the motor trade prior to kind of retraining as a financial advisor. I've always liked working with money. I was always interested in business. And then my previous roles have always been very customer kind of service driven, very customer first. And when I was working at my previous role, I was working more and more within the finance of that department, helping customers kind of find car finance and various other kind of factors within that. That kind of just had, you know, built my love for it really. You know, there's kind of a few elements. Running my own business was a key one, helping people with finance and, you know, and actually working with people themselves. So, you know, financial advice or financial advisor seemed to be the kind of logical career path, really.
Now, I met you. You started coming to a networking group that we both still belong to before you'd set up your business, didn't we? So why? Why did you get ahead like that?
A couple of reasons, really. One of them was that, you know, I was completely new to running a business. And I knew that as much as I was going to be, you know, doing a career change and being a financial advisor, I also knew in the back of my mind that I had to run a business and I had to make that work. And at the time, you know, one of my close friends, Chris, he was part of a networking group in Swindon, and basically he just said how much, not only does it help with clients, but also just helped him develop and grow his business. The people that he meets, the people that help, obviously like you, would never have met you or never have even known about you in an employed role. So I took the opportunity, obviously, at the time there was an availability And certain networking groups, obviously there are certain seats which if they're filled, and obviously I can't go along. Financial advisory seat is a very popular seat in a lot of networking groups, so I kind of seized the opportunity while I could, knowing full well that I couldn't actually advise people at that point to at least take the opportunity to kind of learn from people within the room and to hopefully help to grow my business before I've even launched it.
Okay, so you're how many years in now?
I am coming up to 3 years.
Okay, so 3 years in, come on, give us a feel for what are the things about business that have stressed you or surprised you that you were not expecting?
That's a very big question, because I think until you go on that journey, and it's a very emotional journey when you run a business. I think, from the outside world, it sounds great. You're a business owner, but when you're in it day to day, it's a roller coaster. You'll have days where you think this is amazing. I should have done this 5 years ago. You'll have days where you think that's it. I'm packing it all in, giving it up. I can't deal with this anymore. And then you have everything in between. So, I'd probably learn that it is an emotional roller coaster, but it is also the best thing that I've ever done, in the sense that I've got the ability to grow something that's what I create, and I can reap the rewards of the work that I put in, and you can't get that any other way. So yeah, I guess my kind of number one takeaway is that just things are going to kind of happen, things are going to go wrong. Just accept that you don't know everything, and probably one of the biggest things for me is learn what you're good at and learn what you enjoy, and then find people which are good at everything else, because you can't wear every single hat all the time. And actually, if you grow your network and grow the people around you that help you, then you're going to thrive better, even though there potentially is going to be a cost to that.
And let's talk about awards, because awards are something that are a very big tick in many financial circles, not just with financial advisors. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Come on then.
Well, I haven't won any yet. Is the biggest one. But I've been nominated for quite a few, and I guess from where I am in my career, just being nominated is incredible. So my kind of claim to fame, I guess, is that I'm kind of work under a network called St James's Place, and I'm sure everyone's kind of heard of them. But they're quite a large network. They've got about sort of 4,500 advisors underneath them. Every year that I've been with them, I've been nominated for an award with them at some point, which I think is an incredible achievement and something to be proud of. I've also been nominated for top-rated financial advisor by Vouched for 2 years in a row, on track for a third year. But so I haven't quite got the big award yet, but being nominated is still pretty good.
Brilliant. I mean, that's brilliant. You've talked about two really big things, and then you think, oh, I haven't got that little award over there that I nominated myself for, but you will win an award.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, by the time this podcast is aired, you will have won an award.
Fingers
and
crossed.
Everyone will have seen it.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so let's talk about growing your team. How far into your really young journey did you think I need my first employee?
Probably about 12 months. And that's quite a short amount of time.
Yeah,
but again,
really short.
That was almost that realisation that I can't do everything. What I am good at is relating to people and having a good relationship with them and helping with their finances. What I need is support in the background, because there is a lot of paperwork with financial advice, and there's a lot of things that you need to get right in the background. And I can't do it all if I want to then go out and see clients. So I kind of had this kind of point where I thought, I need help. And there was a few ways, obviously, that I could do it. I could obviously outsource, which is a very viable option, or I can bring it in-house. And I've always wanted to grow a team which shared my values, my beliefs, and I felt the way to do that was to bring someone in-house as opposed to kind of outsourcing it.
Okay, so let's talk about visibility. You came to me, because I've been doing your PR for over a year. You came to me quite early on.
2 years now.
Is it? 2 years?
Yeah.
Gosh. Really early then, and said you wanted to do PR. Why?
Because I think PR is incredibly underrated, and maybe that's an understanding view, or whether it's a budget thing. I'm not sure, but and actually, to be fair, until I met you and realised how actually what you did, you bring so much value to businesses. But before then, I didn't quite understand it myself. But I knew that if I wanted to have my voice, put out there into the world, which is an incredibly scary thing and very difficult if you're doing it on your own, having someone like you would be able to basically channel that to the right people, put me in touch with the right places, and help grow my business, which you have done.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But and we focus very much with you, Dave, on local visibility and regional visibility rather than national, although some national opportunities have come up.
Yeah.
Did you expect that would be as impactful as it was and is?
No, I didn't. And it's very, it's with PR, and obviously it's very hard to quantify it. And I think there's a lot of people which want to see facts and figures, and they want to see data to show that it's working. But especially in my job, it's more of the kind of the feeling, or if someone kind of reads you and leads on to something else. PR is part of the marketing strategy, and it makes such a big difference when someone Googles you, and then actually they see you've been in the local press, or you've written an article about something. I think, to me personally, I think it kind of ups your standings in how you're perceived. And business, a lot of businesses' perception, and actually you're just trying to kind of raise your profile. So for me, as much as I haven't been able to kind of quantify it in the sense of kind of numbers, I have people come up to me and say, I've seen you everywhere. I see you all the time. God, every time I come on social media, I see you. And that's through the articles they're reading and what we're putting out there. So I know it's working. It's just, not kind of quantifiable, if that makes sense.
I often find this in the financial sector because you can be really transactional, which I don't find you to be.
Yeah.
Where that story should lead to that amount of business, and if you've got that mindset, it's never going to work for you, is it?
No. You need to be very open minded. And when I remember when I was kind of started working with you, you were kind of like just trusting the process, and I kind of just took your guidance. I thought, okay, well, let's just throw ourselves into it and let's just try it for 12 months. And I don't think I think we're going to work with each other for a very long time, hopefully, because the value that you bring, and even when your articles come out and what we can kind of put onto our website, what we can put onto our social media, all of that gives us great content. As much as it's brilliant content in itself, it allows us to also, put onto other platforms as well. So, everything that we've been doing is I just think it's been fantastic and very undervalued in a lot of businesses.
Yeah, well, I would say that, wouldn't I? But I would say that it was undervalued. I would say that. Okay, so let's talk about 2025. Okay. What are your dreams for the business in 2025?
So we are kind of on a very steep upward trajectory. What I'd like to think, I feel like we're kind of at this point now where it's either going to go one or two ways, and that's either because I'm getting busier, more and more people want to work with me and kind of work with us, which is fantastic. I'm not going to be able to, keep going at the pace that I can go on my own. So 2025, the plan is to grow the team, but grow the team not just with back office staff, but also with another advisor, and to help with the servicing and onboarding of clients. We're also hoping to kind of expand the services that we are able to offer. So hopefully expand more into kind of business owners, and maybe equity release and some other kind of sectors. And then we also want to try and find a new home as well, I think. And I know, it's so sad, isn't it? But to try and find like a permanent base for us where we can kind of have as our kind of central point, which we can then grow from. Again, I find that it's very important with our model. We're very local based. We want to be a local advisor firm. So trying to find somewhere which is kind of our home locally, is quite key on our list.
Okay, so we are talking what? The Swindon area, Wiltshire area, North Wiltshire. Sort of what are you looking for?
Yeah, so well, Wroughton, preferably if we can. So anywhere, as long as it's in Wroughton, that'd be great.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, so yeah, anywhere kind of really anywhere kind of in Wroughton or just outside of Wroughton. There are some places we've been in communications with some people. But it's hard. It's really difficult trying to find the right space and trying to find it at a sensible price. So we have a couple of shortlisted locations, which are all in Wroughton.
I should just clarify, given our listeners are from all over the world, that
Yeah.
Wroughton, Wroughton, is a small town just on the outskirts of Swindon.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Centre of the universe.
Yeah.
Lovely little place.
Yeah, it's a lovely little place.
So yeah, but that's why we're going. But then again, that kind of shows the type of business that we are. We're not just looking at a big geographical area. We are kind of niching down quite locally, very locally into a, but it's actually technically still a village. So it's we want to be a village-based firm to give back as much as we can to that community. And by doing that sort of concentration, it means that we can have more of an impact. Whereas if we kind of go bigger, we kind of, as much as we can still have an impact, we kind of lose the amount of kind of change that we can have. So.
Thinking about working with you, Dave, because you've mentioned it now, giving back, impact, a lot of the stories I do with you are around how you benefit the community and fundraising that you do. And you do see that as an important part of the business, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me why.
Definitely. Because I generally believe in giving back, and I generally believe in everything. A business has a responsibility to not just obviously service their clients and kind of, I guess, make money is the sole purpose of business. But there's also an element of actually I have a responsibility, and I feel like I've got the kind of platform now to help the local community, to give back where we can. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not very flashy. A lot of people kind of say I don't. I just kind of turn up in a little while I go, so I don't have a BMW or anything like that. But that's not important to me. What is important to me is, growing something which is going to make a difference. And as part of that is having being responsible, giving back, and being mindful of the community, the environment, and everyone else.
So if I think of working with you, you've raised money for Mind. You're in the process of raising money for the Kelly Foundation, which is very local.
Yeah. Very local.
Why those charities? So
they're both mental health charities. And I think that mental health is, especially since COVID, obviously it's always been around, but it's huge, and it is growing. There's a lot more awareness about people's mental health and the importance of it, and also the struggles and the impact that struggling with your mental health can have on your day-to-day life. So by trying to support those charities, trying to hopefully just, empower some people to get through what they are going through and get through those kind of internal battles to try and, help them live a more fulfilled life.
And also there are a couple of other things I know that are important to you, your ethics. One is you give back to your community, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So we give back in terms of sponsoring. So we sponsor a local football team. We help with, we do kind of local drop-ins in the local community centre. We help out with any local event. We are trying to sponsor them or trying to attend. Any sort of charity or raffle, anyone that's kind of asking for anything, we tend to jump on and support as well. So, we are kind of very active with it.
And climate matters to you, doesn't it? Climate change, the environment, sustainability. Yeah. Talk about that.
So that's a very, very obviously big topic, and there's always so much that a lot of people kind of realise, well, how much of it can I impact? And the answer generally is you can impact quite a lot. And there's two sides of that with especially with the job that I do, is what I do as a business and obviously the responsibility that I have, but then also what I talk to my clients about, and then potentially what they're investing their money in as well. It's not about trying to, get people to kind of change their ways. It's just about having the awareness. But for us as a business, we do try and do what we can. We are officially a carbon neutral business. And we also last year partnered with a company called, or a charity should I say, called Avon Needs Trees, which is a local charity which basically buys lands and basically plants permanent woodland in the southwest. So we go along and we partner with them, but then we also go along and help tree plant as well. So it's a bit of a combination, how far can our reach go? Which is why we quite like working with local charities, because actually we can see that immediate impact of what we're doing.
And the sort of sustainability, climate change, creating a better and safer world is particularly important to you now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us why it's particularly important to you now.
So about 11 weeks ago, I welcomed to the world my son, Stanley. He has just completely changed my life. And I'm sure everyone that's had children can relate to that. It completely changes and makes you review your perspective on everything in a really good way. It's lovely. But then it also makes you kind of think, well, actually, where is my direction? What is my purpose? What am I doing with the business? What am I doing? What sort of world is he going to grow up in? So if I can use my business to kind of help improve that, then, I'm going to try everything I can to do that.
You are lovely. I'm really blessed to work with you, Dave, and to have worked with you for as long as we have. So much so that neither of us can really remember how long we've worked together.
Well, I can.
Yeah, but you're more detailed than me. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
You are a spreadsheet man and I'm not a spreadsheet woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone's listening to this and they're interested in using your services or talking to you and your team, how can they find you?
So they can either go directly to our website, which is Dave Southby Financial Planning, and we have like a contact page on there. Or if actually someone wants to just get in touch with me with email, get in touch with me directly, it's dave.southby, that's South and then BY, at sjpp.co.uk.
Thank you very much, Dave. It's been joyous talking to you as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you want to find out more about me, visit scottmedia.uk or pop onto Facebook and join Fiona Scott's PR tribe. It's free to join. Thank you very much. Until next time.